I am here with actor Jake T. Austin. Thank you so much for coming to meet with me.
Thank you. Thank you, Ron.
So let's talk about when you first decided you wanted to be an actor. I know it was at a relatively young age, correct?
I didn't really decide, to be an actor. Like a lot of people, I just kind of stumbled into the business. I was always the kid at home who liked to entertain, his family, liked to make my friends laugh, and I always found myself, imitating my favorite actors or imitating my favorite characters. Jim Carrey, was kind of like an idol for me growing up because he was able to transform himself as an actor into so many different roles. So I really tried to mimic as much as I can just people that I grew up emulating. And that's how I got into it.
Oh, your first appearance on television was actually David Letterman in 2003, right?
That was my first job, my first gig.
First anything, yeah.
My first anything, yeah.
That's really cool. And now you were on a very popular show called Wizards of Waverly Place for 5 years. What was that experience like for you? I know that was probably your longest role, right?
Yeah, it was pretty, I guess, pretty amazing to, have that experience so young. Never before had I ever been on a show or, been on something that was, such a large platform, working with Disney and, getting my start at that age. It was a huge opportunity. And I think now, that really helped prepare me for more roles and the comedic timing that I had to learn for that character. Being in a sitcom, it's so different than anything else I've done. So I'm really grateful that I had that experience.
And now, before you started that gig, was the comedy something you were looking to do? Did you hone your comedic skills while you were on it?
I learned so much just from playing the character Max Russo, from working with David Henry, Justin, and working with the other actors, and then also getting to do films and other projects, and have a really kind of, amazing balance of different styles of work. So I was really lucky. I worked with Octavia Spencer on Wizards of Waverly Place, learning a lot, dramatic, and then also, learning from the writers and what it is to be in a sitcom, the timing and the rhythm. And I think the show really worked because everyone had such great chemistry. And, a lot of the time we would just be improvising or making things up as we went along.
It must have been also wild to be like featured in all the teen magazines and all the covers and stuff like that.
Being in the spotlight so young, I just, I still don't get used to it when people come up to me and ask me for a picture or say, I grew up watching you. I mean, that's the biggest encouragement and the best thing to hear is when someone says, I love your work and, you're the reason that I wanted to do this. And I really I'm so lucky and blessed that I was able to be a part of not just Wizards, but movies that have inspired people and uplifted people. So it's been a really great ride so far.
Now, also you do voiceover work. What's that like for you? Kind of going, not having your face out there, but I would assume you still have to be
I played
acting.
the voice of Diego. That was what most people know me from, is the voice of Diego. And I guess that's always kind of stayed with me. And I've always utilized that, side of my career. If you're not acting on camera, it's good to, act and still be able to contribute. I think voice work is in some ways more difficult than on camera work. And it's really nice to just have like a cool balance of everything.
And you also were in a movie called Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, where you played Huckleberry Finn. What was it like to kind of take on an iconic character like that?
Well, getting to play a role like Huckleberry Finn, getting to do a remake of an iconic film, it was pretty. It was pretty. I was pretty lucky, to have read a story, to have been so familiar with the story, to step into the world of movies and to play a role that I was so familiar with. I think I learned a lot, and you just learn and grow as an actor with each role you take. And definitely with playing, some roles like Mark Twain, Huckleberry Finn, I think that can only help, prepare you for new levels as an actor.
And then you went on to play Jesus on the Fosters on ABC Family, another, 2-season gig. How was that?
It was fun. Getting to play Jesus on the Fosters was another new experience for me. I've a lot of times in my career played, the younger brother, or the sibling who's, a little bit all over the place. And playing the character of Jesus was, there was a lot of things that were familiar to me, but also it was nice to play a character that was so unlike myself, who had
Right.
been through so much, and obviously the show is it is what it is, and I'm very lucky to have been a part of it.
Cool. And sorry for mispronouncing it.
It's
Like,
yeah,
Je-
but I know some people say Jesus,
Some food, yeah.
and then just Jesus. So.
Well, you're good
I'll
to go
take-
now. You'll
yeah,
take either one, right?
I'll take either one.
Now,
Exactly.
you recently competed on Dancing with the Stars. What was that experience like? I can imagine it must have been grueling, and
It was not what I expected to be, doing movies and TV shows, and then to, do ballroom dancing was completely new to me. It was something that I didn't know how I was going to do. I think my sister, my mom, everyone in my family was like, you better be careful. You don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Uh-huh.
And I was more confident, before it started. And then once you see how serious the, competitive nature of the show is, how much rehearsals and performances go into, just one dance.
Yeah.
It's like overwhelming. So I can see now the level of intensity versus when I thought what it would be before I did it.
Just doing the weeks that you were on, what did you find most challenging? Was it learning the routine so quickly?
When I was on the show, the most challenging thing by far was was probably having to take the choreography from my dance partner and make it work. I was very lucky that the music and everything else, was really well, organized, but the choreography and there were certain parts about the dance that just didn't come together, and I really had to overwork myself to compensate for what I couldn't get from my partner. So it was kind of hard.
Next year you have a film called The Valley being released. What can you tell me about that project?
That movie, The Valley, is basically a darker project. It's a little bit different than anything I've done. It's a drama about a girl who's being bullied in school and has a lot of social media hate directed her way, and it's the story of a relationship between a grieving family and the people who had something to do with this girl. I don't want to give away too much about the plot, but it's very it's a very different film, and I'd encourage people to see it. If you are in tune with what's going on in the world, there are a lot of kids who are struggling with identity and with being bullied. So I think this is a film that definitely has a powerful message.
Absolutely, very topical, especially
Especially with everything that's happening today. There are so many kids. I think this is an important movie to spread that message.
And finally, what other projects do you have coming up in the pike that you can talk about?
There's a lot that I'm excited right now. There's a lot that I'm excited to talk about. Right now I have a film coming out this summer with Sony. I can't say who's in it, but it's going to be coming out, and I'm just working on that. Really excited. And who knows? Stay tuned.
And we're right around the holidays, a week before Christmas. What traditions do you have in your family that you look forward to throughout Christmas and New Year's?
I think Christmas, it's great to have a really busy year, and then to all of a sudden take a step away, realize and remember what's important, the people who make a difference in your life, and to be in New York for the holidays, to be spending it here with my family, and to be here for Christmas. I wouldn't rather be anywhere else, and I'm very lucky.
Very cool. Jake, thank you so much for taking time to do this.
Thank you,
It was an
Brian.
absolute pleasure meeting you.
Nice to meet you.